You're not on. I can't hear you. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. You good? Yeah. You good? All right, well, what about, how's my audio on vMix? We bumping? Got it, man. Got it. All right, that's all I needed. Check. Good Monday morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. I got my hat here. Vote Trump 2020 Perfect Vision. Wow, do we have, what do they call it? Do we have a lot to unpack? We got a lot to go through. Man, since Friday, everything is happening, spinning out of control. Take that out of my ear, friend. Want to welcome Lonnie. Some of you that are, if you're new to the show, produces the show, but Josh is down in Orlando, right, Lonnie? Is that where, that's where the Braves spring training is, Orlando. So Josh is down in Orlando with the Braves for 2 or 3 days and having a good time down there. He never misses every year, so we wish him well. And for those of you that have been around the show for quite some time, Lonnie's driving the ship today. Lonnie, let's tell them how they can get in touch with the show first and foremost. You can always contact our show, 706-889-9700. And chief@fetchernews.com. There you go, right there. And there's all the ways you can follow us on social media. Now, that being said, let's get started this morning. What do we start with first? Now, let me make a statement first, starting out this Monday morning. If you're not new to the show, you'll remember last Thursday, okay? Last Thursday, I told you here on the show. Now we do the show from Blue Ridge on Friday, and you heard what we discussed on the All-Star Political Panel on our show Friday. But last Thursday, I told you here on the show that I was not happy, and I remain that way. I did not like anything about it, and I still feel that way, of the president signing that 1,100-page piece of absolute garbage. I cringe at the thought that happened. But what did I tell you Thursday? Here is the quote. I said, I promise I will be back Monday morning to support my president. And of all days, President's Day, I am here to support the President of the United States. I still support the President of the United States. And let me just say this before we really get this ball rolling. And let me say this. I dislike Ann Coulter. I know, I guess somebody could say to me, well, you would love to have all the Twitter followers she has. You would love when you make a comment, all the networks to cover it. You would love to be a guest on all the big shows that she's on every day. Well, you know what? I get so tired of self-promotion and sensationalizing things just for that reason. I get so tired with people, and Ann Coulter is one of those. Now, I don't appreciate myself as a Trump supporter in some of the things, and I'm just going to go through a couple, okay? So let's go to number one. We're going to go here. Now, I'm going to explain Ann Coulter, February 15th the other day. This is not Paul Ryan's fault. It's not Mitch McConnell's fault. Trump ran against the GOP and won. Responsibility is 100% his. I disagree, okay? So we'll say that. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nasty tweets. Let's go with number 2 that she put out, okay? Number 2, she put out, Trump will be declaring a national emergency before or after he signs that executive order on anchor babies. All right? And then number 3, and see, I said this Friday, I said it Thursday. Now the polling numbers, right? The polling numbers, 38% is a lock, right? What do they say? Trump, and let's leave this up for a minute, okay? 38% is a lock for Trump. Nothing could divide that. And Joe Scarborough and Minka and Jim Acosta and all the Jake Tapper and Anderson 360 Cooper and anybody and everybody on MSNBC, CBS, George Stephanopoulos, Scott Pelley, right? List goes on. They have done everything in the last 2 years, the deep state media, every possible thing they can to get into the base, okay? They feel they can manipulate the 55 to 60%. That's what they think. But the base is where they got to crack. If they could separate Trump from his base. Now, what did I say? Because we're going to see. Time will tell, all right? But what did I say Thursday, and what did I say Friday, and what did I say back to Thursday that concerned me? And I put a tweet out, and I got some negative pushback on my tweet. I do think this is the one thing that is separating. I don't know if it's 3%, 4%, 6%. I don't know if it's 4%, but this is one thing that I think there's a percentage, and there's a couple out there that is separating the base. And it concerns me. It really concerns me when somebody like an Ann Coulter that is self-promoting, sensationalizing a situation, all for her personal gain, calls me stupid. Okay, and you. The goal is to get Trump's stupidest voters to say he's fighting. No, he's not. If he signs this bill, it's over. If he signs this bill, it's over. Let me tell you another thing, Ann Coulter, while I have you. Hopefully this will go to her. Let me tell you another thing. It's over. First of all, I accepted when Donald Trump ran for president of the United States that he is not the Messiah. I was very clear on that, okay? I was very clear that he wasn't the chosen one sent down from heaven above through virgin birth to save our country. I was very clear on that. Now, for some, if you were not clear on that, you got a problem. I was very clear on from the time Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act and the creature of Jekyll Island. I was very clear before Trump took office the status we have with our national debt. I was very clear on that. I was very clear on what happened, okay, when George W. Bush gave the American people 12 minutes and 43 seconds and said if we don't give King Henry Paulson, Hank Paulson, Treasury Secretary, $800 billion immediately, the financial world will collapse and the luxuries as we know it as the American people will end. I was very clear on that. I was very clear that when Obama came into the White House, what the economic situation was at that time. Very clear. Very clear on the quantitative easing. Very clear on cash for clunkers. Very clear on the illegal. Just think if the media would have spent as much time on the illegal bankruptcy of General Motors that did not go with the bankruptcy law, where they put the unions, stockholders, in front of the bondholders. Very illegal. I was very clear on that. I was very clear on what happened with bailing out the auto industries. So that being said, I was very clear when Trump became president of the United States that one man and one man alone could not turn this behemoth around that we call the federal government now. I was very clear on that and have never lost that clarity. So Ann Coulter, don't call me stupid because you know what? He signed the thing. I don't like it. Stupidest voter says he's fighting. All right, he's fighting. Number 4. No, the goal of a national emergency is for Trump to scam the stupidest people in his base for 2 more years. Scam the stupidest people in his base for 2 more years. Now, surely a lot of people are booking Ann Coulter on their TV shows and their radio shows, and she is just, you know, she says she doesn't blame Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell. As I said, I am very clear. I support the President of the United States today. I support him today. I'm upset over what took place last week. But let me just say this. We have a guest coming up at 8:30. We're going to talk about this deal. We're going to talk about three probably a three-legged stool here. We're going to talk about the president signing this 1,100-page disaster spending bill. We're going to talk about the national emergency that was declared. And then we're going to talk about immigration illegal immigration in Georgia. We have a guest. His name is D.A. King. D.A. is a nationally recognized author on immigration and president of the Dustin Inman Society and publisher of the immigrationpoliticsgeorgia.com. He is going to be with us at 8:30, and we're going to really get in depth into immigration, especially in Georgia, and what he thinks about the president signing this spending bill to keep the government open. And all right, let's go to, because before I get to my guest, let's go to this. We watched number 6. We watched. Oh no, Lonnie. Let me go. Let me lighten things up first, okay? I mean, I've waited for 24 hours. I cannot. When I tell you, Lonnie, you put up number 22. All right. Get ready. Number 22. How can I move past number 22? The wiener is out. I'm sorry. I know. Like, I really had to do that. Anthony Weiner released from prison. The wiener is out. The wiener is on the loose. I have to do that, man. It's 6th grade humor. I have to do it. But the interesting thing is the wiener's out of prison, and his, is it ex-wife now? Uma Abedin. Remember that computer that Uma was sending stuff home to Anthony right there, and Anthony had all of that, all of that classified emails on, and he didn't have the security clearance because at that time he's in trouble for being the wiener, and Uma Abedin sending State Department work home and classified information to that computer. And remember, that computer was confiscated. And remember, sources say that the NYPD was ready to break a story and said, hey, Comey, FBI, you break this story or we break this story. Remember that? Just rumors out there. Remember all that? That was nowhere near. Number 6, a concern for this guy. See, McCabe and the FBI, that was not a concern, that Uma Abedin sending the stuff home. And this is just one thing whatsoever. So how many of you last night watched Andrew's 60 Minute? And here's something that cracks me up. Go to number 7. What's his name? Scott Pelley with CBS 60 Minutes. Look at his face. I mean, he was taken back. I mean, he's asking McCabe questions, and he's like, oh my God, in my entire career, do you mean the president may be in the league with Russia? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling us? Really? They are stunned. If memory serves me right, all they may end up with, okay, and we'll get deeper into this after our 8:30, after our guest, okay, but if memory serves me right, all they really have, and this is, let's see if I can get the picture up here I'm looking for, Lonnie, give me number 39, all right. If right now, all they basically really have where the president's concerned is a letter of intent to Russia, okay? A letter of intent saying, we may be interested in building a Trump Tower in Moscow. We just like to send this letter, this formal letter, saying that we have interest in that. And that has run the Democrats over the cliff, the intent to do business in Moscow. And this guy right here, in his report, we don't know what's coming up out of his report or if there will be special counsel Robert Mueller any information where that's concerned. But this guy here, McCabe, give me number 24. He goes on 60 Minutes. McCabe detailed Rosenstein offered to wear a wire. And let's go to number 25. And this is Rod Rosenstein right there, the acting deputy attorney general, deputy attorney general under Beauregard Sessions, Jeff Sessions, and he is the one that recommended a special counsel. So we have McCabe, we have Rod Rosenstein. They discussed the 25th Amendment, a coup, which is removing the President of the United States from office, okay? And Rosenstein offered, McCabe said it wasn't a joke, to wear a wire because when he went in the White House, nobody patted him down, all right? Seriously, all this was taking place, but yet this guy had everything to do with, after they fired James Comey, this guy that was going to wear a wire appointed number 39, Robert Mueller. So remember the timeline. Trump fires James Comey. Now, McCabe makes a big deal to Scott Pelley. Should I discuss that with Scott Pelley without doing this? Okay. I'll keep going like this, like Scott Pelley on CBS 60 Minutes. But, McCabe claimed they made a big deal over, Comey being out west somewhere with the American taxpayer money jet, the FBI's jet and entourage, when he got fired, that, who told him he could ride home, okay? The first thought I had when James Comey got fired was like, who the hell told him he could ride the plane back? Get a commercial flight, dude. You are no longer with the federal government. See, they're making a big deal, all right? They're making a big deal out of Trump. Listen to this very, very close, okay? Let's go back to number 6, McCabe. I want you to pay attention to this. They're making an enormous deal over the President of the United States saying to McCabe, why did Comey get to ride the FBI jet back? And they're like, really? You fire the guy and you won't give him a ride home? This is not just any plane. This is not just any group that's getting on that plane. Okay? This is not. This is the FBI plane with every little FBI Inspector Gadget thing on the plane, number one. Still access to, you go into the FBI. There's no way the director of the FBI gets on a plane, especially the one that he's using, that he cannot access FBI files, all the above. I mean, sometimes when you release somebody, you walk them to the door. It sounds cruel, but you walk them to the door. You don't let them go in their office or nothing. So they're making a big deal that Trump said, hey, who told this guy he could ride the plane home? And when he gets home, can he come back to headquarters? No, he'll go home and we'll send our stuff over. The reason being is, send the guy over, take a commercial flight. You don't work here anymore. Because he got on the plane, flew back to D.C. from, I think, out west somewhere. So let's just say 3 hours. The group that he had with him with the FBI, right? He was able to guarantee you, even though he no longer had security clearance and was the head of the FBI, he had 3 hours possibly to go through some files and forward them to the House. I don't know. Just saying. He had 3 hours to game plan with the group on the plane. Look, when you get home, here's what direction I'm going. We need to be in unison. Whatever. You don't let the guy on the plane, and they're making it a big deal that Trump was like a bully. Oh, he can't ride in a car. Hell no, that's not what happened, folks. All right, so here's the thing. Rod Rosenstein. All right, this guy here, okay. Comey's fired. This guy here is now acting director of the FBI. He is meeting with this guy, Rod Rosenstein, okay, number 25, all right? He's meeting with this guy here talking about wearing a wire and invoking the 25th Amendment. So what they're going to do is they're going to put an investigation together that nobody can get out of. And so this guy, all right, he advocates for a special counsel. All right, Jeff Sessions, you wonder why Jeff Sessions is always, the president was always so angry with Jeff Sessions. It's because he let this guy that we now find out with Andrew McCabe and others wanted to wear a wire, okay, wanted to enact the 25th Amendment on the president of the United States, and we let this guy come out and say there should be a special counsel. We let this guy write the parameters. Just anything goes. Anything in the special counsel you want to look at, you have no parameters. Go for it, do it, okay? Basically, but we don't know. This guy is trying to wear a wire to corner the president of the United States. He appoints none other than number 39, former director of the FBI, Rob Mueller, okay? And now today we're wondering what number 38, there he is, the new Attorney General of the United States, William Barr. William Barr is friends with number 39, Robert Mueller. 38. So what do you say today? WWBD, what would Barr do? Because that's what we're waiting to see in the Department of Justice, what the new Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, does in the case of all of this corruption of the deep state. So let's see what that investigation comes through. Before we go to break, it's not going to be long. All right, let me go to number 26, because we're going to build on this after the break. Once we talk about immigration with Mr. King, D.A. King, my guest at 8:30, we will go into the 9 o'clock hour further in the discussion on immigration, and then wrap up some other things. CBS puts up McCabe, Trump's own words prompted FBI probes. No, it did not. Now, you sit there and you watch Scott Pelley, I'll show you in a minute, look amazed and shocked at what he was hearing. Do you think if 60 Minutes, do you think if the media would be as amazed and shocked as Carlos Danger there, the wiener, having classified information on his laptop sent by his wife through the State Department? Will you think they would sit there as shocked after they find out Bill Clinton took $500,000 to give a speech in Moscow or give a speech from the Russians, well, whatever? Would they be sitting there shocked when they find out how many hundreds of millions of dollars that flowed through the Clinton, oh, I've lost my train of thought on there. The Clinton Foundation, their charity, the Clinton Foundation, when they had millions going through from the Russian government? Nobody seemed to be shocked and taken back. The real collusion, which we all know, is the Democrats and many of the House and Senate, Republican and Democrats, with Russia. So McCabe says Trump's own words prompted FBI, and here are the things that Andrew McCabe said are the reasons. The events considered before launching Trump's probe. Trump asked Comey to drop Flynn's investigation. Okay. Trump asked Rosenstein to include Russia in Comey's firing memo. Rosenstein did not. Trump firing Comey, that was big to them. Trump comments on NBC linking Comey firing to Russian probe. Trump telling Russian officials firing Comey relieved great pressure. Those were the reasons for a coup, according to them. Okay, coming up on my break, I got to take it actually now. I do want to say this. Let's go to number 27. Smollett. All you got to do is say black, gay man, stage an attack. Swear it was two guys wearing a Make America Great Again hat, and the media loved it. We're going to get into that today. And then the last one before my break. Sorry, I got to get this one here because, oh man, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I do want this one out. Darn, I thought I had it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't. But Schultz, okay? Schultz says, number 15. Howard Schultz challenged to Democrats, nominate a centrist for president and I'll abandon my independent campaign. Wonder. After he got the CNN town hall that CNN gives free to all of these people, after he got all of the interviews, after he got this massive amount of media, free media, making it look like he was going to be the spoiler. But guess what? It's been nothing more than a book tour. A book tour. America has turned into a book tour. That's what the guy did. Self-promoting is what our problem is in this country, at the risk of our country. A book deal. Guess who has a book deal, starts the tour today? Andrew McCabe. You know, Andrew McCabe said, I'm a lifelong Republican. I've always been a Republican. I got to go to break. We'll be back on the other side with our guest, D.A. King.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and what we're talking about this morning, and particularly this segment, is illegal immigration and what is going on. I now am joined by, joining us now, D.A. King. D.A. is a nationally recognized authority on immigration and president of the Dustin Inman Society and publisher of ImmigrationPoliticsGeorgia.com. D.A., how are you this morning?
Great, Brian. Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, I've been going through and I read several of your social media posts and what you have put up, and I read most of your stuff throughout the day because you do publish a lot of stuff on immigration, legal and illegal. So I was going through reading that, and I've read some of the ugly, I'll call it, Ann Coulter attacks on people as stupid as me to like the president. So anyhow, I wanted to get with you because I think you and I can have a conversation and our viewers can really take some information away. So let's start with the president chose not to use a shutdown again, okay? And let's remember the Democrats have control of the House, and obviously Mitch McConnell is not going to use the nuclear option. So to me, my opinion, it's almost like Chuck Schumer has control of the Senate. That being said, they sent a package over to the President of the United States this past Friday. He had a choice to sign this or the government was shut down for a second time, a partial shutdown. So let's talk about that piece of legislation first. What say you on that?
Well, first, respectfully, let's eliminate the false choice between signing and the shutdown. There was a third way to do this. And I want to make it clear from the front that I support the president and secure borders. But what we could have done when the bill was put into a time machine so that it was approved in the dark of night and somebody had to do something by midnight the following day, we could have pushed for a 1 week continuing resolution so as to keep to keep the government open while people had enough time to see what was really the madness that was really in that piece of legislation it was pushed through. If the public had been allowed to understand fully what was in there before it was signed, I believe we could have gotten it changed. But even if the Democrats had not agreed to a 1 week continuing resolution to keep the government open, while all concerned had a chance to read and understand every word of that legislation, it would have been a different scenario. Sometimes I wonder if the president's advisors are and I'm putting this mildly, are as efficient as they could be. The bill itself had features in there that when I alerted people to what was in there, I was called an anti-Trump traitor by simply revealing the contents of a bill. And very quickly, it was less money for a wall than the Democrats had already agreed to. It gives veto power, so to speak, to local authorities along the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, along the border, where if they don't want a fence in their community, they probably won't get a fence in their community. And those areas are governed by Democrats, some of the most liberal areas of the country. It has an amnesty in there. You can call it anything you want, but it is an amnesty for cartel smugglers in that if you are somebody who is in a household, get this now, if you are in a household related to or are part of a potential household to sponsor an unaccompanied child, then you, by the letter of the law, could not be deported and you couldn't spend any money from this bill on it. And it goes on. And it was a horrible, horrible bill. It's now in the past. It's been signed, and we have a chance to change it at the end of the fiscal year, which is September the 30th. But probably what's going to happen is they won't have a budget ready in Congress, and this will continue to go on with another. Then you'll see a continuing resolution to keep the government open while they work on another bill like this.
DA, let me ask you quickly here. Actually, one of your highlights of the bill I read on my show Friday. One of the highlights that you posted several highlights of the bill, and I did read some of the responses and so forth. And I got a little pushback myself from my viewers. Sent me some messages saying I was wrong. The wall will get built, but the only thing I said is I am concerned if this is the one subject that does crack away a couple percent of the Trump supporters, because I'm reading some really tough stuff. And before you get into that, I want to say you're 100% right, because if they'd have done 1 week, and I want to tell you how much I agree with that, if they would have done just 1 week of a continuing resolution, and it would have had enough time to read this 1,100 pages. When are we going to stop allowing Congress to give us 1,100, 2,400 page pieces of documents and sign them in 24 hours? But anyhow, I think you're right there on the mark of if we'd have had 1 week of a continuing resolution and the American people would have seen and got an opportunity to see the disaster inside this monstrosity, it would be different. And that's where you're going with that?
It is, and Brian, please know, I've been working in the Georgia State Capitol for 16 years, and this time compression, bringing out bad bills at the last minute and making people take a false choice in signing them, it's not new, and it won't end. It'll happen again next time. But the bill was horrible. It's in the past, and this language is good until September the 30th at the earliest. It can be replaced. It is my hope that the Republicans in the Senate will at least be prepared for the next time this happens. And just a little bit of inside baseball. The Republican establishment, excuse me, in the Senate was so much in a hurry to get this bill passed or signed before anybody got to see it, or before the president had changed his mind, that Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, actually interrupted a speech by Charles Grassley on the floor, interrupted him to tell the room that the president had agreed to sign a bill that most people had not even yet read. So there was a great deal of insight into the amount of rush that was going on to get this thing done. My sources tell me that Senator Charles Grassley, who's been there forever, was really not happy about being interrupted.
Well, DA, let me say this, and I don't want. Let me use the tense still. Let me say still, not that you have posted anything other than your support for the president. So even after this bill this Monday morning, you still support the president of the United States?
Certainly I do, and I understand why that question has to be asked. But people have to put their loyalty first to their country and common sense, and blind loyalty to anybody, President Donald Trump included, that can lead to what's called a cult. If a politician that I support does something wrong, or that I feel is wrong, I am happy to stand up and say so. And believe it or not, to everybody, politicians are driven by the push factor. And the powers that be with the money, like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, big business, the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, have a lot more ability to push. So speaking up against a bad policy, speaking up against a bad decision, is not automatically throwing your candidate or your support out the window. And I really, really wish that, a lot of people don't know exactly how their government works, but I wish people would stop thinking that any negative comment on any policy or legislation is somehow a forever attack and abandonment of the president. It's not.
DA, I said Thursday here on the show, I let everybody know how distraught and upset and just I was just blown away that he would sign this. But I said Thursday on the show when I signed off Thursday, I said, but I'm going to be back Monday morning, and I'm going to come back to support my president of the United States.
I think that's a healthy attitude.
And I was very clear on that. Let me say this, because speaking of that, folks out there, if you're listening to the DA and myself this morning, we can be critical, and we need to be critical of our government, regardless of who's in the White House and who your representative is. We need to look at that and understand how the government works. But I have stayed clear, DA, that Trump is one man. Very clear that Trump was one man. And last week we had Richard Shelby, that has been in the Senate since 1986. Okay, and in 1986, what happened in 1986? Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill's amnesty deal, 1986. Richard Shelby of 1986 came out, and Patrick Leahy from Vermont, that's been in there since mid-70s, I think it's 77 or maybe even back to 71, these two people came out and said this was a bipartisan good piece of legislation. I'm staying focused to understand that the President of the United States is one man, been there 2 years, and the problem is much bigger than Donald J. Trump.
Well, it is, and there's a reason that we have started to use the word swamp. There's people who have been there forever and put policies and tools into place that they know how to use, and that's just the way it is.
All right, he signed a national emergency Friday. The media's, their head is spinning off over the national emergency. It seems to be okay, DA, if we can build schools, bridges, roads, airport, massive multi-billion-dollar bases all around the world, but let us want to defend the southern border with a national emergency and all you-know-what breaks out. What say you on the president declaring a national emergency, and what do you think the progression will be, and will it work?
I believe in the end, I think it'll probably go to the Supreme Court. I believe he will eventually be successful. Goodness knows many, many other presidents, including Barack Hussein Obama, have done national emergencies for far less important things than whether or not we are allowed to defend our southern border. Excuse me. It is important, I think, to know that this wall, this quote-unquote wall, border barrier, fence, whatever we're calling it, it's not a monolithic deal that is supposed to run from California to the end of Texas. While it's important to have up barriers in many places, I hope that people will stop to understand that even if this national emergency works in getting the president more money to put up more barriers in more places, excuse me again, it's not just whether or not we're going to have a barrier in many parts of the border that is going to stop or deter illegal immigration and these wildly crazy caravans that are coming up because they have learned how to work the obscene asylum laws that we have. What we have to do, whether we get a wall, a fence, or whatever, what we must do is to stop the asylum policies. We have to change the law in Congress that allows people to come to the border and say, I'm a refugee, I am fleeing a poor country where I can't get a job, and there's gangs there, and I want to come into your country and get asylum. Once they get in, whether or not that asylum is ever approved in 6 months or 2 years from now, they're in. And if the asylum is not approved, you have to go find them to get them to leave, which mostly doesn't happen, and it's up in the 80% doesn't happen. So getting into the United States right now is the game, and once they're in, they simply blend into the illegal population and go on. And what you can look for in the near future is more marches in the street from people who said, I'm here, I have been here since 2019, and I have now had children, or I am a child and I want another DREAM Act. You can look for this to be added to the weight of the push for another amnesty, like you noticed happened in 1986.
Well, let me say this. You brought up we're talking about the southern border and the topography there. Obviously, you're not going to have a 2,000-mile wall. There's only certain areas that you can actually cross that need a barrier. So that's a that's an illusion. Also, the media creates to want people to believe when they say this border wall. But you brought up amnesty, and outside of a border wall, there's so many things that we've got to address. E-Verify, catch and release, amnesty. What are some of the other things? Because you do this on a daily basis. You do this nationally. You do this through your website that you publish. What are some of the other things before? And then after we get done with this, I want to bring it into Georgia where we're talking. We do have some national viewers, but we're going to bring it into discussing immigration in Georgia. But what are some of the other things that have to be done that we really need to be calling our legislators and say, do this?
Well, on the national level, you pretty much hit it, and we've talked about it. The changing the asylum laws, ending the catch and release is, I think, just as important as having a nationwide E-Verify program. If we had done this show 2 years ago, I would have told you that most illegal immigration is caused by illegal employment. The certainty that an illegal alien can come over here and work illegally and make more money than he can at home. Now that is changed now, because there are organized groups who are organizing caravans in Central America. And now, by the way, before I forget, there are people coming from the Middle East, I am told, in Honduras right now, getting into another caravan. But people are coming because they know they have been organized by groups whose name is Sin Fronteras, or No Borders, to come here and claim asylum. I can't say it enough. If you can say, I want asylum, you take a test the short test about whether or not you have a credible fear of returning to your home country. And that's just a very quick test. If you're let in then for the final review on becoming an asylee, that can take 2 years. But again, you have made it into the United States. We do not now have a program that even monitors when a guest worker comes in on a legal visa to see whether or not they leave. So if we can have E-Verify nationwide, and if we can change our asylum laws to stop the madness of letting people in while they just wait to see whether or not they're going to be approved, and most of them are not, we go a long way towards stopping what's going on now. And people should know one more thing. This is not an infinite game. We cannot continue to have telephone interviews and discussions around the country or in Congress about what are we going to do to stop a massive influx of people from other countries in addition to the legal immigration we take in. Eventually, there will be enough political power here created by the people who have been coming in for the last couple of decades and are coming in now, where we won't have a choice on whether or not somebody else is going to pass a law and get the political power to do what they want to do, and we will be sitting here wondering what happened to our country.
All right, I agree, but I do want to take something, and I know I told you earlier, but there's some things I can't pass up. I do want to take something that you said in that last statement that, and I've thought about this multiple times, how many from the Middle East are traveling to Honduras to become a part of a caravan to walk up through there with 10,000 people, not be suspected, and trying to cross this border even to get asylum as though they've come from Honduras. And one of the media groups yesterday on This Week on ABC, they say Trump's claim invasion of criminals, gang members, and then they say the actual number is only 4% that come across are convicted of a crime, only 0.1% affiliated with a gang. What's wrong with these people? They don't realize all we need is that one person to get through that should not be here. But this is okay because only 4%, according to their numbers, is getting through that are convicted of a crime. Why is 4% okay? I don't know. I can go all day.
Well, it's whether or not you believe the accuracy of those numbers, I guess, is up to the amount of trust people have in the media in general. For me, the mainstream media gets that rating for trust is nearly zero. But I can make a suggestion. If people will go on Twitter, and a lot of people don't, but there's an organization called the Center for Immigration Studies, CIS.org, which has a man on the border right now doing stories about who he interviews and who he sees apprehended coming over the border. And apprehension now is a funny word because people turn themselves in. But people from the Middle East are, in fact, coming over in these caravans. And another thing, very quickly, Brian, people hear about caravan. These are groups of organized people that the media covers. The media is not telling you how many people just come through on their own. Every day, a long stream of people. You can turn on YouTube for the Center for Immigration Studies, and you can see people streaming in, mostly of families who are just lining up and coming over the border. They didn't come in a organized, advertised caravan. But every day we are taking in, I read someplace the other day, and I might not have remembered it correctly, but somewhere around 1,800 people a day are coming in just in one place in Texas. And they walk in, Border Patrol sets them up, lines them up, puts them in, and then they go ask for asylum, and then they're released. 3% of unaccompanied children have ever been removed from this country who come over that border.
What was the Twitter feed that you put up a minute ago before I go on?
It's called the Center for Immigration Studies, CIS.org.
All right.
Or you can follow Mark S. Krikorian. Mark Krikorian, he's got a man named Todd Bensman on the border right now. When we get off, I'll send it to you and you can put it out. How's that?
I definitely will. I want to do that. Okay, now let's, you live in Georgia, and I didn't tell the guest here, DA does live here in Georgia. And so let's bring immigration down to our state here where most of our viewers are listening from. And what are some of the things going on in Georgia, and where do we stand on illegal immigration in the state?
Brian, I've been working in the Georgia State Capitol on illegal immigration since 2004. So I don't know how easily the American public is shocked anymore, but here's one that shocked me, and I didn't find this out. I didn't see this number until last year. But Georgia right now, according to multiple sources, both on the right and the left, or you can make that both on the pro-enforcement side and the anti-enforcement side, Georgia is home to more illegal aliens than it is green card holders. Now, when I saw that, it just blew me away. So if it doesn't freak people out as it should, Georgia is also home to more illegal aliens than is the border state of Arizona. We have corporate-funded groups in Georgia who are right now, as I speak, in the Georgia Capitol, lobbying against any effort that would reduce legislation that would reduce the illegal immigration in Georgia. There are young people. Some of them lobbying in the Georgia Capitol are illegal aliens. They are young people who are here illegally who have been given Obama's deferred action on deportation. They're still illegal aliens, but the government has promised not to deport them. Georgia has corporate-funded entities who are lobbying in the Georgia Capitol, controlled by the Republicans, successfully to stop or deter legislation every single year that would lead to less illegal immigration in Georgia. Here's another one. Right now, the people who have deferred action on deportation, whether or not they have it through Obama's DACA program, they are illegal aliens, but under the Real ID Act, they are afforded the ability, not the promise, but the ability to obtain a Georgia driver's license because they get a Social Security number and a work permit. So fast forward, what kind of driver's license are we issuing now? About 22,000 driver's licenses to people who are illegal aliens. What does that driver's license look like? It looks exactly like, it is exactly the same driver's license that we are giving to legal immigrants who have obeyed our law and come over here the right way and had their fingerprints taken and are chasing the American dream. It's the same driver's license that we're giving to Mercedes-Benz and Kia executives who are here on guest worker visas. We're giving illegal aliens the same driver's license as legal immigrants. I can't say it enough. There's been a push on in the Capitol for years to try to not give them a driver's license at all. That did not pass. But what we're trying, and we have been trying for years, is to at least change the driver's license that's given to illegal aliens, again, about 22,000 of them with deferred action on deportation, so that it clearly says that they are not illegal immigrants, so that it's very visibly different than the driver's license we're giving to legal immigrants, and that it's oriented vertically and it's multi different colors, and it says not a U.S. citizen. Right now in Georgia, here's one. Right now in Georgia, our election laws say that the license that is issued to all of these non-citizens I just talked about is acceptable as proper identification at the poll booth. When you go to vote,
I was waiting for you to
driver's
get
license
there.
is proper ID. And most legislators do not know this. And when you tell them, it goes way too close to the topic of immigration, and they'll back away.
Well, I was actually waiting for you to get there. I was following along, and I said, okay, everything about this, all the things that are wrong about it up to this point, but what about, voting and voter fraud? It's interesting, just a little shot here. Democrats don't seem to be concerned with voter fraud when it's in some areas, or the possible voter fraud with some areas. They're more concerned with what they perceive as not getting the ability to vote. Voter suppression is, but having a driver's license that looks like yours and mine, and walking into a lot of these polling places and pulling provisional ballots, I think it's already been proved that that's happened.
Well, let me make this extremely clear, and let me take it a minute. If everybody's listening in Georgia, will call their state representative, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. Not all these legislators have backed away, as I may have implied. There is a pending bill, House Bill 270, House Bill 270. House Bill 270 very easily corrects the flaw in the state law on proper identification at the voting booth. It makes it clear that documents credentials like ID cards and driver's license issued to non-citizens shall not be acceptable as proper ID at the polls. And that sounds like a no-brainer, but it's not guaranteed that this bill will pass. But I would urge everybody to tell their state representative to sign on to, not to say, yes, I support it, to put their name on House Bill 270.
DA, I'm going to have to close, but before I do want to get one more thing in. When a new governor takes over, the plate that they have in front of them is very full. A lot of campaign promises, and then a lot of the representatives coming and wanting to get their bills up front that the governor will support. That being said, Brian Kemp, the new governor of Georgia, how do you think he's doing on immigration? Is he looking at it? Are these some of the things that you and others are able to get in front of him right now? What say you?
Brian, I have to be honest. I'm looking forward to a new governor, Brian Kemp, mentioning illegal immigration. I have, maybe I missed it, but I haven't heard the governor move on illegal immigration since he's been there, and our session is nearly half over. So I don't know how to answer that question other than I'm listening, and I look forward to the governor saying something about the issue.
Well, he made the campaign promise, and I know he didn't go too deep into illegal immigration, but his campaign promise was, supporting ICE, which, there you go, supporting ICE, and a task force to, eliminate gangs, and, the majority of that surrounds illegal immigration. So I was just wondering on any of those fronts if he was making any progress or headway or anything that you were able to see.
I have to apologize for an alarm going off on this phone, but I honestly have not heard the governor mention illegal immigration. Again, maybe I missed it. Since he's been elected, I have not heard that.
DA, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the time. And let's do this again real soon, because obviously
thank you very much, Brian. Good work.
This is a subject that is going to stay in the forefront. You have a nice day, sir. All right, that is DA King. DA King again one more time. Let me make sure I have this for you here. He is a nationally recognized authority on immigration and president of the Dustin Inman Society and publisher of Immigration Politics Georgia.com. So there's great information on his website there. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to unpack that, but I have some opinions on some things that are taking place where immigration, the wall, the courts, national emergency. We'll talk about it right on the other side of this break. Take us a break, Lonnie.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. I think we had a great discussion there that last half hour with Mr. D.A. King concerning immigration. And, I like the way he put it. We need to be critical of our lawmakers, and we need to hold them accountable, but that does not mean we've totally turned on them. And I, for one, if you're just joining us at 9 o'clock this morning, a little after 9, I told you, I was very clear with you Thursday that I was very disappointed. And I like what Mr. King said. You know, last week there was a third option, a one week spending resolution. And that would have given the American people an opportunity to see what was in that 1,100 pages. And I think by this week it would be a whole different, the American people would have a whole different view of a government shutdown. So I do agree with that. I like what he had to say there. Now, moving right along, okay, let's tell people how they can get connected to the show. Here's our phone number, 706-889-9700, right there. That's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week phone number, and our email address, and all the ways you can watch on social media. All right, let's look at the Twitter deck, and I want to go here before I get carried away. All right, the President of the United States, let's hear what he has to say. After 2 years and interviewing more than 200 witnesses, the Senate Intelligence Committee has not discovered any direct evidence of conspiracy between Trump campaign and Russia. And that's President tweeted that out. Wow, so many lies by now disgraced acting FBI Director Andy McCabe. He was fired for lying, and now his story gets even more deranged. He and Rod Rosenstein, who was hired by Jeff Sessions, another beauty, looked like they were planning a very illegal act and got caught. The president continues on and says, there is a lot of explaining to do to the millions of people who had just elected a president who they really like and who had done a great job for them with the military, vets, economy, and so much more. This was illegal and treasonous. Insurance policy in full action. Okay? And the last one the president tweeted out 42 minutes ago, this was an illegal coup attempt on the President of the United States, Dan Bongino on Fox and Friends. True. Okay, so what he is talking about for the most part, and let's go back here. There's two pictures I want to show you. Andy McCabe, number 6. All right, let's go back to number 6 because I had it. All right. And then there is the stunned number 7, Scott Pelley. I mean, I should start doing the entire show like this. So, what you were saying? And here's a little clip. I mean, I'm not playing anything from, not playing clips from last night, but here's a little something. Okay. McCabe said he's a lifelong Republican. But he did not vote in this last election. He just didn't vote at all. I believe that's a lie. Okay? Now, if McCabe claims, go back to number 6, that he is a lifelong Republican, just didn't vote in the last election, why did Jill McCabe run for Virginia State Senate as a Democrat, along with support from Terry McAuliffe, that used Hillary Clinton for a fundraiser and accepted $500,000 to $600,000, if not more, in funds from a Hillary Clinton, Terry McAuliffe Democrat machine, corruption, the deep state, for her state Senate bid in Virginia as a Democrat, if he's a lifelong Republican. I mean, they did everything to sell this lifelong Republican. People were shocked we had lost our leader, he said about Comey. The next day after the president's meeting, I decided immediately we had to do this. Why would a president do that? Inappropriate, now listen, this is what he said, an inappropriate relationship and connection with our most fearsome enemy, Russia. Now go back to number 7. So he says that what caused you to do this? An inappropriate relationship, a possible connection with our most fearsome enemy, Russia. And Scott Pelley said back, he says, "Are you saying? Did you see that? Like, are you saying? What are you saying? Are you saying the president is in league with Vladimir Putin? What are you saying?" It was disgusting. Rod Rosenstein offered to wear a wire. I never get checked. They discussed the 25th Amendment. Okay. And here's the thing. All right, I always love, let's just say not when I catch them in their rigged interviews, but when no matter who watches this will catch them. Now here's Scott Pelley. And Scott Pelley says, "You seem to have a very clear memory of all of these events. You seem to be able to recall them in detail. You seem to know exactly what was said." Yes, I'm just saying, you seem to have this awesome memory in great detail. And how do you do that? Memos. Oh, because you're trained that anytime you are with somebody as an FBI agent, to immediately do a memo. You remember when James Comey gave his memos to the Columbian professor to have published in the New York Times, whatever it was. Remember that? Where are your memos now? Robert Mueller has my memos. Oh man. So it is, I mean, enough on this right here. Number 9, they put out a statement, the White House, Andrew McCabe was fired in disgrace from the FBI for lying, and he opened a completely baseless investigation into the president. Everyone knows he has no credibility. That came from Sarah Sanders. Now, McCabe leaked a story from internal documents of the FBI, and then lied to Congress when they asked him if he is the one that did the leak. He lied. Okay? Let me just say what McCabe did. Others are facing jail time. Others are in trouble and facing, the judge. And why McCabe is even able to sit there and do what he did after lying to Congress and only getting fired, I don't understand. Go to number 8. I don't know that I can read this. This is from the Department of Justice, but this is the comment as to specific portions of this interview provided to us by 60 Minutes in advance. We again reject Mr. McCabe's recitation of events as inaccurate and factually incorrect. They say he's factually incorrect. The Deputy Attorney General never authorized any recording that Mr. McCabe refers as to Deputy Attorney General previously has stated. Based on his personal dealings with the President, there is no basis to invoke the 25th Amendment, nor was the DAG in a position to consider invoking 25th Amendment. Finally, the Deputy Attorney General never spoke to Mr. McCabe about appointing a special counsel. The Deputy Attorney General, in fact, appointed Special Counsel Mueller and directed that Mr. McCabe be removed from participating in the investigation. Subsequent to the removal, DOJ's Inspector General found that Mr. McCabe did not tell the truth to federal authorities on multiple occasions, leading to his termination by the FBI. didn't tell the truth on multiple occasions. I tell you what, Roger Stone, Manafort, I understand. There's those damn Ukrainians, Flynn, Papadopoulos, the list goes on. I'm surprised that McCabe is actually out and he's not in prison after he did not tell the truth to federal authorities on multiple occasions, okay? So McCabe is a liar. Now there's only one person here. Here he is, number 23. Now I'm going to say, down to the point right now of the House of Representatives. Now I'm not putting Jim Jordan in there, but the actual committee that has the power to do something, this is our guy right now. McCabe details Rosenstein offered to wear a wire. This is Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is our guy, folks. I mean, that's where we're at here. Let me find, I had another photo here I was going to show. Go to number 29. Search for the truth. So on Face the Nation yesterday, Lindsey Graham's comments, search for the truth. Now, I know, take a minute, pinch yourself. Just grab a little pinch there. Yes, this is our guy. Search for the truth. Because somebody is lying. And a lot of stuff happened that we deserve as the American people to know the truth. Did Andy McCabe sit in meetings? Now, I know, number 7, real quick, I think my memory's right. I'm sorry to jump around. Where was Scott Pelley when where was he? But if you're saying all of this, what about those text messages with Peter Strzok and Lisa Page that imply they were sitting in your office one day and you guys were talking about an insurance policy? What was that insurance policy? Was it Geico? Was it the General to save some time? Could you elaborate on the insurance policy? Where were all those tough questions? Peter Strzok and you, how long did you two work together? How many investigations of the Clintons were both of you involved in at any time? What was the insurance policy? I'm taken back by that. I'm just blown away. No, Scott never got there. Well, there was a whole side of McCabe and Peter Strzok and Bruce Orr and Nellie Orr and Fusion GP. There was a whole side of this thing that Scott never got to. In fact, there was the part, remember, where he said, I was concerned there was an inappropriate relationship and a connection to our most ferocious enemy, Russia. And Scott said, are you saying the president is in a league with Vladimir Putin? Are you saying that? Or should he said, are you saying Bill Clinton took $500,000 for a speech? Are you saying uranium won in the Russians? Are you saying hundreds, maybe $150 million from Russia went into the Clinton Foundation? What are you saying? See, we see through it. Now go back to what number? Go back to 29. This is our guy. Search for the truth. I know. I know. I'm as shocked as you are. This is Lindsey Graham. He said yesterday on Face the Nation. Now, this guy is the chair of the Senate Judicial Committee. He has the power, because Republicans still hold that committee, to subpoena these two. And the American people need to see and hear from Andy McCabe and Rod Rosenstein, and the questions need asked. What about the wire? Who's telling the truth? We need to know in the meeting that McCabe claims. We need to know, did they actually do a chalkboard of cabinet members and check off the ones that they thought would go with them on the 25th Amendment? Did they do maybe, this one maybe, we're going to have to work on this one definitely no. We need to know. We need to search for the truth. But folks, Believe it or not, our search for the truth is this man right here, Lindsey Graham. I'm going to take a break, come back. I got some other things I want to cover really quick before we close our show today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Okay, folks, the President of the United States has declared a national emergency. Today is President's Day. He will use funding from many sources. I guess the largest source being the Military Construction Administration Fund. First of all, let's tell people how to contact the show. This is all of the ways you can 706-889-9700, chief@fetchanews.com, and there's all the social media ways you can communicate and follow our show. Now, right after this show is Facebook Live. Go to our Facebook Live and check out. I'm just checking all of my emails. Check out the instant replay with Dave Garner and Luther Kinsey there in about 10 minutes, about 15 minutes on the top of the hour, 10 o'clock on Facebook. Go to Facebook and watch the show, instant replay. Gilmer Wrestling interview, awesome coach interview. Caleb Waddell, the first Gilmer County female state champion wrestler. We're going to have an interview with her right on the other side of this. You got to stay tuned to find out who it is, okay? Big show at 10 o'clock, instant replay. Go to Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Now, that being said, today the President's declared a national emergency, okay? And he said, I didn't really need to do this, okay? So he stood up there and he said, I didn't really need to do this, but you know, we're going to get pushback, and let's go already. Number 31, ABC grabbed Basaria there. He is the Democrat California Attorney General. He's already got his lawsuit going. Won't be today. It's President's Day. So he's got his lawsuit going with others. And that being said, he declared a national emergency. I spoke to, and this is the Attorney General of California. Let's leave him up because they're already planning the lawsuits. Now, we have in the past been able to spend trillion. Our president asked Nancy Pelosi for $5.7 billion. We spent, and don't think Obama was not in the loop, we spent trillions of dollars. in unfunded wars, that we did not have the money, that we borrowed as a nation. Now there's $22 trillion in debt. And last week, I said when I started, I accept Donald Trump as one man, okay? And last week, the media had a field day, an absolute field day, with going and saying we've reached a $22 trillion deficit. And in that $22 trillion deficit, the President of the United States is just pushing that debt as fast as he can with tax breaks and spending and so forth. So now the President has declared a national emergency and they want to take him to court. Now stay with me on this because you got to keep your head clear. They want to take the President of the United States to court so they can redefine who has control of the purse strings. I swear to God, you can't make this up. So the court, and they feel the executive office branch of government has too much power here. Just last week, go back just a week ago, and look at the $22 trillion in debt news. Why, they had, 3-4 days where this thing just blew up, $22 trillion in debt. And it was going to soon be 93% of our GDP. And Trump has pushed that as fast as he can. But now today, right? Today, they're going to take him to court so they can redefine that Congress has authority over the purse strings, and Congress sent the spending through, and just because the President doesn't like what Congress sent through, he's going to declare a national emergency and end around. Last week, it's Trump's $22 trillion. Today, Congress has the power of the purse. And they do. I love hearing Congress has the power of the purse. Because one, unlike Ann Coulter said she does not blame Speaker Ryan or Mitch McConnell, I do. Now, President of the United States is a businessman, and when he came into office, he was getting hit all sides of how D.C. worked. And he was getting all kinds of suggestions of who could help him wander his way through D.C. Go ahead and put the only picture I have of him right now. Go ahead and put 25 up. So the President of the United States was getting all the advice of how he can wander through D.C. and make things work because he's a businessman. So Paul Ryan is the Speaker of the House from Wisconsin. We already know Paul Ryan does not like him, okay? So Trump says, you know what? This is my opinion, totally my opinion. He says, okay, Reince Priebus, okay? Reince Priebus, I will make him chief of staff. Why, him and Paul Ryan wear cheese heads together, and I'll have him go down to Paul Ryan and try to send that olive branch of one Wisconsinite, if that's what they are, to a cheese head, one cheese head to another. So Priebus is there for 6 months, and and so forth, but Trump gets nowhere. And Paul Ryan keeps coming to the White House or meeting with him and saying, President of the United States, and he keeps putting out as though he supports the president. And he sells the president on strategy. And he sells the president on waiting to this point. And he sells the president, in my opinion, on get past the midterm here. And when you're past the midterm and Kevin McCarthy is the speaker and you're going to skate through 2 more years, Kevin will give you what you want on the wall. You'll have just in time, you'll have the money for the wall. Then what you will have is you'll be building the wall and you can campaign and show all those campaign pictures of you building the wall, keeping your promises. So I'm not going to say that the president got duped, but this is a nasty place. This is an evil, despicable, nasty place, Washington, D.C. These people are despicable. I mean, the mob in New York City, the Costa Nostra, or whatever, all the guys with a vowel at the end, they can't hold this mess a light to go by. So Trump goes with the strategy, possibly, and next thing you know, Nancy Pelosi's in charge. So yes, I do blame, unlike nasty Coulter there, I do blame Paul Ryan, Reince Priebus, and Mitch McConnell. Ryan could have passed border security with everything. He could have passed a complete border deal, a complete immigration deal, moved it over to the Senate, right? Mitch could have went nuclear option, and everything's done. President's got $10 billion to build a wall. We do something with the Dreamers, or the, you know, as they want to call themselves, not me. We do something with amnesty. We got everything done. Boom, boom, boom. Ryan hasn't finished. Now he's retired, goes home. Mitch goes nuclear option. We get our 51 votes. It's over, done, finished. But no, I do blame them, Republicans. So Trump got exactly what he got by listening to Republicans in his own party. That being said, he declares a national emergency. Well, number 18, at number 18, Chris Wallace is definitely on United States Constitution. No money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence, forget it, I'm not trying, of
appropriations made by law.
Thank you. In consequence of appropriations. Do you realize in 3 words there's 9 syllables? Of appropriations made by law. Thank you for pushing me like Lonnie got my back. He said, come on, we're going to do this. So there is Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7, but we do know that Congress did pass a law giving the president the authority on national emergency to use funding, okay, that is pretty wide open for interpretation. So here you go. That's the Constitution that Chris Wallace, and now Democrats all of a sudden are the constitutionalists like you would not believe. All right? So that being said, leave that up there. Trump's going to take money from the military. You remember Trump gave them $800 billion or something? Like last year, $700 billion. This year, $800 billion. Okay? He needs $6 billion back. Here's the point. We spent out of that $22 trillion, remember, $22 trillion, $7 trillion of that money. $7 trillion. Wasted. $7 trillion in wars. We have a war in Afghanistan that's 19 years old. $7 trillion of the 22. And they were loving it. Obama's administration loved it. George W. Bush's administration loved it. I mean, they were spending, they loved it. $7 trillion. Nobody asked questions. Nobody asked where our money's going to. Nobody brought up the debt. Now, it was okay. It's been okay in Iraq and Syria and in the Middle East. It's been okay in Kuwait. It's been okay in UAB. It's been okay in obviously Iraq. I might have said that a couple times. But it's been okay in Iraq and Afghanistan to take our money and build massive airports. Now our money and build massive airports, schools, power plants, bases that we house our men and women all around the world. But let us want $8 billion in everything. Where has been the press interest in how the military is getting treated before? So I made a phone call yesterday, and I'm going to get to this because I'm running out of time. But I made a phone call yesterday to a retired Army general of the Corps of Engineers. And I had a long discussion, and he said, Brian, look, these politicians, these are firing ranges. I mean, let me just say this. I think I have the picture here. Let's go to Tammy Duckworth here really quick. Let's go to number 10. And so they go to number 10, Tammy Duckworth from Illinois, senator from Illinois on the Armed Services Committee. And she says they're not going to get a firing range now. They're going to take our money and they're not going to get a firing range, and they're not going to get a helicopter disaster training pad right out of the area where I used to fly. They're not going to get this desperately needed stuff. You know what? They're not going to get these barracks. There's all kinds of things in Ohio. There's not going to get a school, okay? They're not going to get a school, a middle school at a base, an Army base in Kentucky, all right? So they've gone after, let's see, where are Mr. and Mrs. That love this country so much, number 20, okay? There's Gumby Joe and Stretch Minka. Senator Graham, military families need a wall more than they need a middle school. Look, we build schools on these bases, okay? And when there's been appropriated, they put in what they want on these bases. It goes through appropriations. It takes about 3 years in military construction assignments to get approved. When it gets approved, they do it. When they talk about barracks, this general told me yesterday, he said, where have these politicians been with the military over years? During the cuts, when Obama was making enormous cuts in our military budget, that's what this general told me yesterday, and we were not able to build these things, and we were not able to upgrade our military. Where were all these politicians then concerning the military and our equipment and barracks? He also went on to say, he said, you know, we have barracks that are 60 years old from World War II to kids were sleeping in and staying in from World War II. None of these politicians cared. So the point is, don't fall for these politicians caring about, and it's not a big deal. America, it's not a big deal that the President of the United States plans to use the military funding, okay, for construction projects on the wall. And it doesn't mean that in Kentucky they'll never get a school. It doesn't mean that they'll never get a firing range. Just watch for all these plans that all of a sudden they care about our military. I want to get to this one real quick, Lonnie. Number 30, moveon.org. Let's get clear here, moveon.org. It seems like Soros had plenty of time to gather the troops together. States holding President's Day protests. Every one of these states are holding a President's Day protest, and it is being sponsored and organized by MoveOn.org. Wonder that is a shocker, right? Number 28, because I'm trying to close here. Desperate Venezuelans wait for aid. America, this is you. You're the ones. This is not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is you, the American people. We have aid, okay, that is getting to the Venezuelans now, all right? This is us, America. We have it coming in, and hopefully they will get it distributed. But the American people, you are pushing aid to take care of this once richest nation in our southern hemisphere here that is now socialized to the point that thousands of their people are fleeing to Colombia every day, and sadly enough, they are eating things that you and I would imagine, just couldn't imagine trying to eat here in this country. So that I want to get with. Number 21, okay. Smollett. Now, I did not get into this story last week. Smollett may have orchestrated own attack. This is a gay black man that's on a show called, I don't know, what is it called? I forget what it's called. Enterprise or whatever. I don't know. But it's a show. It's supposedly he is going to be written off the show. So he stages his own attack by two people there in Chicago and actually claims they were Trump supporters. And we have everybody from the media. Nobody waited, okay? There was no waiting. In fact, I don't have time to show you, to read all of them to you, but Lonnie, I do want you to put up number 14, okay? Number 14, possible Smollett hoax on issue for Democrats, an issue for Democrats. And these are all of the tweets that were sent out, or many of the tweets sent out by many Democrats. Cory Booker, Spartacus, AKA maybe gay, don't know, wait for that coming out party, okay? Streamers, hats, everything like that. But Cory Booker went on the floor of the Senate and talked about, this hate crime. Why? A hate crime against a black gay man, all right? Put a noose around his neck, whatever. And the media ran all this. For example, Nancy Pelosi has deleted her tweets about Smollett. She's deleted her tweets. Many Democrats are rushing to delete their tweets, okay, concerning their support for this man, okay? Cory Booker called Smollett's attack a lynching. Cory Booker called it a lynching. Now he's refusing to comment, all right? So let me say this. Watch this, because the way NBC or MSNBC and CNN look to be going after Smollett now, really hard. They look to be going after him hard, with very little apology to Trump and Trump supporters, but they look to be going after him hard on the hoax when it's them that created it. There you go. They created the hoax. They bought into it. They helped sell it. This guy comes out, no evidence, no investigation, nothing. Cory Booker, others, Nancy Pelosi, Democrats, hell, they jumped all into this. They created the hoax, they created the false news, they created the fake news and the narrative. Now they're trying to say, oh, I don't know who that was last week that created this, but we're going to go after him now. By the way, where's Lord Fairfax, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia? Everything's pushed off the table for Lord Fairfax and Ralph Northam, as Rush would say. All right, I got to close. Got to give the guy his props. First of all, de Blasio, number 32. He goes on Meet the Press. There's a major fallout over this, number 32. De Blasio, and then go to 33. De Blasio, I'll take on any progressive anywhere that thinks it's a good deal to lose jobs and revenue, because I think that's out of touch with working people, what working people want. There's de Blasio, and here is the lady, number 34, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, all right? She is all excited. They're having a party that she kicked Amazon out of New York City there, Long Island or Queens, but the 25,000 jobs, Mario Cuomo, the governor, was hoping for that tax revenue so he could provide more abortions in the state. I mean, de Blasio was hoping for more tax revenue so he could give people 2 weeks free vacation and just paid vacation no matter who they are, whether they're working or not. And, what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just highlighted is, if she's upset with Amazon, she should really be upset with the Green New Deal that she wants to implement. But that being said, and last but not least, before we go, well, wait a minute, let me make sure there's nothing I'm missing or glossing over. This is worthy of 2 times, right? Number 22, if you got 6th grade humor, right, the wiener is out. I mean, how can you not close the show without saying one more time, the wiener has been released, right? He's out. Wiener is out. All right, you just how do you not? I mean, what the hell's so funny? It's Anthony Weiner. He's been released from prison. I didn't write it. I'm just saying the Weiner's out. Damn. Do that on the late night shows. No, I did not watch Alec Baldwin do his Trump impression. I don't think he's funny. And I did say last but least, but I'm going to do it again. Number 37. Did you guys miss Rush Limbaugh, the king of all media there? No, that's Howard Stern. Damn. Rush Limbaugh from the EIB network. He was the guest for Chris Wallace this weekend. I hope you got a chance to see the interview. Last but not least, I'm going this week down to the Capitol here in Georgia, the Gold Dome, and we're going to, I'm going to do the logistics and the planning and everything, because not this week, next week, and we'll let you know the date. We're going to be doing our first annual show from under the Gold Dome in Atlanta. We're going to actually be set up down there, and we're going to do the show live. And we're going to try to set up some state legislators. We're going to try to see if we can get the Speaker of the House, maybe the governor, whatever. But we're going to be doing a 2-hour show from the Capitol next week. So look forward to that. Pay attention for that coming up. I'm your host, BKP. Stay tuned. Go to Facebook, Team FYN Sports, because on our Facebook page, we get ready to go live. And you don't want to miss these interviews with these wrestlers from Gilmer County State Championship. Luther Kinsey and Dave Garner have a great show lined up there on Instant Replay. I'm out, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.